the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome back once again, race fans, here to the Turn 3 Racing Network, as tonight the Wheels for Warriors USA Pro Cup Series hits the track for the very first time right here at the World Center of Racing, Daytona International Speedway. Gonna be one heck of a way to start off the season with one heck of a great title sponsor here for the Cup cars in Cyber Thunder Racing League on iRacing.com. There you can see it, bottom right-hand side of your screen, and there you can see top right, Wheels for Warrior USA Pro Cup Series. If you don't know about Wheels for Warriors, gotta go check them out. www.w4w.org. Great way to help out our vets in different aspects, mentoring them for a period of time before actually setting them loose with some two-wheel rides. That's right, helping vets get back on some motorcycles. Gonna be one heck of a partnership, I can guarantee you that. Love it. Love the fact, especially as I am a fellow rider. And we'll go ahead and run a little bit of your timing and scoring up there as these drivers have already began their qualifying session. There you can see, sitting at the top of the speed charts right now, Justin Gross takes the top spot from Underdog Racing. 47.88. If he was running a 27, that would be pretty amazing. How you doing? How you feeling out there in Race Land, TV fans? We're glad you could all join us here tonight on the Turn 3 Racing Network. As always, Darkside Dave in the cave, bringing you all the calls from the trackside here tonight. Going to be some very fast action for sure. Daytona International Speedway, well, you already know, restrictor plate racing at some of its finest and some of the best in the business. Going to lay down some laps here tonight. Justin Gross still sitting at the top of the speed charts. We've got about 18 drivers already putting in their time lapse, so multiple drivers still yet to go. 10-minute qualifying session here in the season opener for the Wheels for Warriors USA Pro Cup Series. And man, I tell you what, looking at down through the field, we do have quite a handful of drivers with that we are not recognizing. Looks like Patrick Stein, one of the newcomers here. Cole Gray, a familiar face. Kyle Jett, Jay Morris, as well as Paul Turner back once again. Zach Shahalis back again. Bryson Clark, David Gainforth. A lot of familiar faces, but a lot of new teams out there also for this season in the Wheels for Warrior USA Pro Cup Series. So we'll have to get to some of that a little bit later on down the road. Championship points reset. Tanner Tallarico, last season's champion, not here to defend that championship. So looks like drivers gonna vie for a chance to raise the trophy in about another 19 races here. 20-week race season for the Wheels for Warrior USA Pro Cup Series in the Cyber Thunder Racing League. Let's see who we've got out there on track. Do we have anybody out there on a time lap? Looks like maybe Cole Gray may be out there. There you can see Gray going by. We'll take a little look-see here with Gray right around the track with him for just a moment. See what kind of speed he's got inside that tribute, that throwback. You know what it looks like. You know what it is. The late, great 20 years ago this past weekend, we lost the greatest race car driver that was pretty much known to man, especially in the stock car side of things. Lost the great Dale Earnhardt, and there you can see one of these drivers in the Wheels for Warriors USA Pro Cup Series, paying homage to the man that was one of the best at these style tracks, running a very iconic paint scheme on the side of that machine here tonight. The three of Cole Gray, hats off, tip of the cap to you, buddy. That's a job well done. Gray good enough for 19th with that first time lap. He is about right about 1.1 seconds off of your race leader, your pole sitter right now, Justin Gross, with quick time on the track, 47.88. Tom Richter going to begin his qualifying attempt here as we've got about 3.5 minutes left in this qualifying session. Richter going to be pushing the envelope to try to get his time lapse in. Let's see will Cole Gray shake out with this second time lap. Going to cross the line that time by. Does he improve? Ooh, not really improving on the timing and scoring as far as the speed chart is concerned, but lap time definitely improved, but only good enough for the 19th spot. We'll jump back here for just a brief moment with Tom Richter as he takes his 2/10 off Motorsports machine around the track. And there you can see one of those drivers flip-flopping around on the teams this season. Tom Richter with a new ride, but a familiar paint scheme. That Cheerios Hamburger Helper 34's Chevy Z01 Camaro makes its way off of turn number 4 back across the stripe to begin his first time lap. I believe he's going to be beginning his first time lap. No, going to be putting down his first time lap right at about a second off of your pole sitter. Justin Gross still with just a lightning fast time out there. 47.88. That is pretty quick. "22 out of the 36 drivers have put in a time lap." We are watching that 34 of Tom Richter make his way off of turn number 4 on his second time lap. Can Richter improve through the timing and scoring? Was one of the fastest there in happy hour, but that speed not directly translating. And big jump through the field all the way inside the top 10, just outside the top 5. Richter goes 7th on the board. Well, that's going to put an end for his time lap, so we'll jump back away from the speedway just a little bit here. See if anybody else goes out or if that's going to be it. And with just about 90 seconds left here in this 10-minute qualifying session in the opening round here in the Wheels for Warriors USA Pro Cup Series, looks like Justin Gross gonna snatch the pole away here tonight. With that being said, race fans, we're going to step away for just a brief commercial break, head down trackside for the national anthem. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
iRacing, you wanted the best. You got them 4 abreast. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave
back track side as the bells begin to toll. You know what that means. It's time to run down tonight's starting lineup for the Wheels for Warriors USA Pro Cup Series in the Cyber Thunder Racing League. Walking away with the pole position inside row number 1, the 99 of Justin Gross. Lining up just to his outside, the 5 of Eric Moyer. Back in row number 2, the 32 of Chris Wold and the 19 of Jeff Sharp. Dave Sanders and Colic Finmore gonna make up row number 3. Row number 4, Tom Richter, followed by Jerry Isaac. Rounding out row number 5 here, the 39 of Bruce Perry, followed by the 27 of Jay Morris. Slotted in the 11th starting position here tonight, Evan Coleman, followed by John Dykman. Back in row number 7, the 14 of Crank Bell, followed by Eric Anderson. Brett Edwards going to line up in 15th. 16 goes to Chris Dean. There you can see Andy Cork lining up in the 18th position. A lot of drivers here tonight, over 35 drivers, 36 to be exact, as the Ford Mustang pace car gets ready to duck off. We'll get set to fire it off for the first time here tonight in the Wheels for Warrior USA Pro Cup Series. Down and away that Mustang goes, and we're green flag racing for the first time in the season for the Wheels for Warriors USA Pro Cup Series in the Cyber Thunder Racing League. Down on the bottom of the track, that 39 doing well, running strong very early here tonight, and still, very early, obviously. It's lap number 1 out of the 80 scheduled here in the official race distance. There you can see Jerry Isaacs starting to make a little bit of a gain through the corner here, as this entire field still packed up, running side by side down the backstretch on lap number 1. Doesn't look like we have any drivers really committed to falling back just yet. We're keeping our eye on that timing and scoring, and just 5 seconds separates the front to the back of this field. 36 drivers, and there you can see back, I believe that is right around Chris Wold, maybe Tyler Beeman. Right there around that 20th position. Looks like they are starting to set themselves back just a little bit, try to play things safe, as Justin Gross is going to lead that first lap. So your pole sitter goes ahead and puts another point in his back pocket. Outside lane looks like it's losing some ground, has lost a lot of drivers in it. The numbers are on the bottom, so that's where the momentum is. That's where the energy is coming from. Drivers pretty much nose to tail, small gaps in between them. We've got about 15 or 16 drivers lined up on that inside lane, as more drop from the top to the bottom, right in line. There you can see just off in the distance, drivers bailing from that high side. Just 4 drivers left on that outside. Eric Anderson being one of them, trying to make his way either up through the field or try to find a gap to squeeze down into. Eric Moyer, Jeff Sharp out there outside lane, trying to make their way up and around this field, but they're going to need a lot more help than just 2, 3 now make it drivers lined up behind them. Everybody else looks like they're content to run a few of these laps, and big wiggles out of the front of this field. Your top 3 runners all sideways, coming out of turn number 4 back across the stripe to start lap number 4 out of the 80 scheduled in the official race distance. Big boy racing here in the Wheels for Warriors USA Pro Cup Series. No stages, absolutely no fast repairs. Drivers gonna have to get what they can get, and hopefully they don't get hit. Now, at a track like this, a super speedway, drivers are all over each other all race long. The big one can happen at any given time. Now that outside lane beginning to gain in those numbers once again, so look for that outside lane to slowly begin to surge forward and start to battle for the race lead once again. That 5 has been strong out there. Moyer trying to go to the lead once again. Big run off of the out of the tri-oval and back down into turn number 1. There you can see Zach Shahalis with A little late start here, already down on pit road. A little bit of trouble for Jahalis as he's already back off of the lead lap. We'll throw some of the timing and scoring intervals right there for you to follow along with. And there you can see that very distinct pack that I was talking about, and it is just outside of your top 10. I do believe, if I'm looking at this correctly, race fans, I do believe that is John Dickinson. No, a little bit further back behind them, maybe Frank DiMaggio. There you can see that 95 towards the back of this lead pack. It does look like there it is. Bob Rogerson leading this second small little pack. Has David Rogerson, Brian Dorsey, Dave Ganforth, as well as Robert Gregory, Patrick Stein, Bradley Beeman, Kyle Jett, Dalton Carter, and Mark Schrader. Back in the field right now, running in the 35th spot. Still in touch with each other, still able to make up the ground if they need to. Looks like one driver having a little bit of connection issues. That, I believe, is the 101 of David Gainforth. No, that's not. That's the 82 of Robert Gregory having a little bit of connection issues. With all that happening, we'll jump back up to the front of this field once again. Dunkin' Donuts leading the charge. And I tell you what, funny story, that's how I start off my day every morning before work, is I stop by the Dunkin' Donuts. And yeah, cool story, bro, huh? And I tell you what, a little bit early tonight to throw it to it, but why don't we go ahead and see if we can't get a little bit closer to the action. Gonna mute the mic for just a minute. Head down trackside for some of your sights and sounds with our Turn It Up. And if that don't get your blood pumping and ready to go racing, I don't know what will. Great job by everybody back at the headquarters, producing some great live action camera shots here tonight from Daytona International Speedway in the Wheels for Warriors USA Pro Cup Series. First time this season for the Wheels for Warriors USA Pro Cup Series, and they are starting it off right here at Daytona International Speedway. Driver still mixing it up, not really settling down just yet. We've seen the bottom lane get very organized, very quick, very early in the going, but now drivers jumping to that outside the 5 of Eric Moyer, still leading the charge up there at the front of the field, still trying to take away the race lead. Just not quite able to get past, not quite able to get up there and really battle for that top spot with Justin Gross or Coleridge Finmore right there. Solid run. Finmore, one of the new drivers here with the Cyber Thunder Racing League in the Wheels for Warriors USA Pro Cup Series, and he is making quite a splash here tonight in his debut, running second. Pushing your race leader down the backstretch. Drivers still side by side for multiple positions all the way back through, it looks like 15th, 16th on the speedway. He's still not necessarily decided. Drivers jockeying positions each time they cross the line. As we continue the green flag run, and you can see that backpack losing a little bit more ground each and every lap. A second pack not quite developing just yet, but Frank DiMaggio is starting to separate himself just a little bit. He has Eddie Behan, Cole Gray, and Bryson Clark lined up with them. There you can see him right there just now making their way off of the exit. Still within striking distance, still a hold of the draft of the drivers in front of them, but starting to distance themselves just a little bit from the pack, maybe not quite seeing something that they liked in front of them. But nonetheless, still running strong very early here tonight, just outside of your top 20, 1.8 seconds off of your race leader. Justin Gross still at the top of the charts, has been since qualifying. Your pole sitter has led every single lap here tonight. We'll jump a little further through the field, try to bring you some more action here. Eric Anderson down there trying to make up some ground, trying to make some headway, or I should say out there. That familiar Petty Blue 43 machine piloted by Anderson, man. I tell you what, he's third in line on that outside lane, and it's really not going anywhere right now at this point in time, this juncture of the race. That outside lane seems to gain some ground, and then it just kind of stalls out right there when it gets to the back end of that one machine. Fenmore, I'm not sure how they're pushing right there, but Fenmore has been tucked in behind Gross this entire time. The temperatures have got to be reaching a high level here, but not wanting to give up those top two spots. They stay locked nose to tail back into turn number one. Now through the center of two in the outside lane, loses ground once again. Looking through the timing and scoring, trying to see your biggest movers of the race. Let's jump back here and highlight this driver on the track. There you can see him inside just behind that 12 machine. Bill Jett in the 28 with a big jump through the field, already up 17 spots from where he started tonight's race. Now up 18, just outside your top 10, running in that 12th position. So big tip of the cap very early here. Still a long way to go. Upwards of 65 laps or so before we'll log the first winner ever for the Wheels for Warriors USA Pro Cup Series. And if you haven't already, head on over to Wheels for Warriors USA. That website is www.w4wusa.org. Great organization helping out all of our veterans. And if you had to pick a cool cause to back and get behind, why not jump behind the Wheels for Warriors, helping vets 2 wheels at a time. These organizations, they agree to mentor a veteran for around a year or so, and then they do provide a motorcycle to that veteran at no cost whatsoever. Try to help them get some free thinking therapy, if you want to call it that. If you're a rider, you know what I'm talking about. Your motorcycle is just a place for relaxation, meditation, and just to clear your mind, get away and go. Just it's a wonderful thing, and honestly, I couldn't think of a better organization to back and help out our veterans. Wheels for Warriors USA doing one heck of a job out there. Hats off and a big time salute to each and every one of you out there with the Wheels for Warriors organization. You guys are doing some great work. And the 77's going to go around. That'll put us under caution for the first time here tonight. Trouble on the speedway, lap number 17, and we have got our first caution of the season, first caution of the night. Trying to look, see if the producers have that one. They are giving us a thumbs up, so let's take a look back and see what happened here. Oh, and there you can see the 5 goes around. with the push on the outside, and that is going to catch up quite a few other drivers. Oh my goodness. Let's see if we can't get another look at that real quick. We'll back it up one more time here, a little late. There you have it. The 5 going around, the 19 spinning, more drivers all over the place. Man, I tell you what, that is some tough sledding. Early challenger for the race lead, down and away. A lot of drivers torn up. In this one, looks like Dave Sanders in the 77. There you can see him wounded down there on the road course section. And this ain't the Rolex 24. Back to the track. Sanders trying to find his way back in line, back onto the track. Multiple drivers caught up in our very first incident of the night, very first incident of the season. Now those drivers involved are down onto pit road. Justin Gross, your pole sitter, your race leader for all 18 laps so far here tonight. We are right about halfway on a fuel run, so look for all of these drivers to head down pit road this time by. Looks like Justin Gross indeed going to lead the field down pit road. And everybody coming down, they want the fuel more than they want the tires. I can guarantee you that. Usually here at Daytona International Speedway, you do seem to run the fuel out before you run the tires out. A great handling car does go a long way, however, so those tires, and drivers missing their pit box. You can see him having to back up. I believe that's the 57. With some trouble. That actually may have been the 27 of Jay Morris with some trouble on pit road. Having to back up into his box after sliding through almost a full pit stop. And indeed, yes, that was that was a big one. A big one in the sense of multiple drivers, but it looks like there is only 6 drivers now involved in that incident. So while it was a big one, fortunately enough for a lot of the drivers out there, it wasn't a bigger one starting tonight's Daytona 80 with 36 drivers on the speedway. That could involve about half of the field or more as it started at the front of this field. That was the driver that was leading that outside lane, the 5 of Eric Moyer leading that outside lane. A little bit of a push towards the exit. Got him a little bit out of shape, a little bit loose down and across the nose of the 19, catching a couple drivers along the way. But when it's that close to the front, it can really play havoc. So hats off to all of these Wheels for Warriors USA Pro Cup Series drivers are being able to get on the brakes and be aware of their surroundings and make it through unscathed. Looks like most of the drivers did go with some fuel only there, maybe some right sides for that one of Coolidge. Finmore, he's going to take the top spot as we get set to go back. Green flag racing this time by. The Ford Mustang pace car lights are out, and we're ready to go back. Green flag racing once again here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. And if you haven't already, race fans, toss these drivers a thumbs up, click subscribe, and smash the bell over there on the right-hand side. Get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Whether it's myself, Darkside Dave in the Cave, or anybody else back at the Turn 3 Racing headquarters, we do appreciate each and every one of you, each and every time you stop by. Whether you're just casually sliding on through for the moment or you are the dedicated fan, friend, or family, we do appreciate each and every one of you each and every time. And as I've already said, if you haven't already, throw these drivers a thumbs up. Drivers side by side, those gaps will begin to close. You can see a few drivers with a little bit of connection issues, problems, but you know, that kind of happens sometimes here at Daytona International Speedway. Drivers' connections can be very finicky. But nonetheless, looks like everybody here, everybody ready to go back up through the gears one more time. Your new race leader, Finmore, waiting to nail the gas into the restart box, and on the loud pedal, green flag flies. Once again, here from Daytona International Speedway, down and away, up through the gears. Well, is that 1-0, looking to go to the bottom, not clear yet. Now gonna squeeze down to the bottom, just in front of Andy Cork. Justin Gross drops to the bottom of the speedway. That's going to leave the 32 of Chris Wold out there on the high side. He does have help. 3 drivers lined up right there with him. Bill Jett just behind him in that 28. Drivers looks like they're a little skittish back there towards the back of the pack. Looks like they are wanting to go ahead and jump out of the gas just a little bit. Go ahead and back themselves up. Going to take a look at the drivers that were involved in that latest incident. They are all up to speed with the draft right now, all upwards of 195 miles an hour. So looks like as long as they've got that draft, they very well may be okay. There you can see that target Ford Mustang on the outside, trying to make a little bit of ground up. Andy Cork trying to run to the front. Chris Wold in 32 right there, third car inside lane. There you can see him peeking out just a little bit, trying to keep a little bit of air on the nose of that machine. And once again, early on the restart, we're seeing that outside lane kind of just fall apart and disintegrate. We've seen it happen at the initial start of tonight's race. The first 2 or 3 laps, the outside lane held strong, held their ground. Then it looked like most of the drivers migrated down to the bottom until they were done lifting, tired of giving way. And now back at the front, race lead challenged by Andy Cork. He's side by side as they make their way down the backstretch once again. First time we've seen that outside lane surge and try to make it by the inside lane. Looks like indeed Andy Cork gonna have it. Not gonna be clear enough to drop to the bottom. Big push on the back end of, I believe that was Bill Jett, super loose through the center of 3 and 4. That's gonna break up that outside lane, but look at the run that inside lane had created. The big push from your pole sitter Justin Gross on the back end of Finmore. That separated that inside lane. Now drivers dropping from the top back to the bottom to fill that gap. And that outside lane slowly starting to go away once again. Your top 13 drivers all packed up together, all right here running on the speedway. There you can see last driver just outside of this pack, that 55 of Eddie Behan running the Ford Mustang. Behan running solid here. And then you can see just a slight gap back to Frank DiMaggio, Cole Gray, Dalton Carter, Tom Richter running inside the top 20 right now, down 12 spots. Not sure what really happened to Richter. We'll have to take a look at the car here in a few moments when we get the opportunity, when we get the chance. As there you can see those drivers in the rear of the field. Some of them, 6 of them, 5 of them actually, as Eric Moore has called it a night. He is back behind pit wall and listed as the first driver out of the race here tonight from Daytona International Speedway, the Daytona 80 and the Wheels 4 Warriors USA Pro Cup Series season opener. Gonna take a look back at this pack here, man. I'm telling you, it's getting a little racy. Bradley Beeman, Tom Richter. There you can see those drivers battling. Well, not necessarily battling, but I don't want to say musical chairs either, but just kind of rearranging the line. There you go. Chinese fire drill, except you're still moving. I don't know. Now does look like most of the field is single file down there on the bottom of the speedway. A few drivers still up there at the front trying to battle for a spot at the top, and it just doesn't look like it's really happening right now. That inside lane, well, with the numbers a little unorganized after this front little pack. The 19 of Jeff Sharp is the last driver on that inside lane. Got to go a little bit back to get to the 2 of Chris Dean. Dean keeping right around a half a second or so off of the drivers around him. So Dean kind of playing this one smart. He's got Eddie Behan just behind him, Frank DiMaggio, Cole Gray, Dalton Carter, Kyle Jedd, and Bradley Beeman round out your top 20. Drivers on to pit road back at lap number 18. Your race leader gained control by a quick stop, only 8.3 seconds in his box for Finn Moore. And that's how he took over the race lead and hasn't looked back ever since. Has your pole sitter, early race leader, lined up just behind them. That 99 Dunkin' Donuts machine has looked very fast all night long, was pretty quick in a happy hour as well, and that speed has translated directly over into qualifying and now into race mode. That 99 looking strong. Will he look to the outside to try to take over the lead of that outside lane? No, gonna stay tucked in behind your race leader. They still run nose to tail in the tire tracks of each other. And Chris Wold, he's tired of Riot in third. He's gonna jump to the top. The drivers coming around the stripe to begin lap number 29 out of the 80 scheduled in tonight's official race distance. Not a lot of house cleaning to do so far here tonight. We have had one caution involving 6 drivers. Only one of those drivers falling victim to that incident, and he is off of the speedway back behind pit wall and in the garage. The 5 of Eric Moyer's night gonna be cut short, and he will finish in the 36th position. Outside lane beginning to fall to the wayside just a little bit more as the numbers continue to grow. The organization on the bottom of the speedway much better than the drivers at the top, and we do see yet another one of those little blinky blinkers out there on the outside lane. That's going to cause just a little bit of havoc. Drivers may be a little bit hesitant. And Chris Wold, man, he jumped to that outside lane and drove right around with a push, and now leading the race for the 3rd time. New race leader here at Daytona International Speedway, Chris Wold in that 32 Chevy ZL1 Camaro, grabbing that top spot. He'll complete this lap and put the point in his back pocket. Top 3 beginning to separate themselves from the driver, still running double file, and there you can see the wounded 43 of Eric Anderson. He is one of the drivers that was involved in the early incident. He is well off pace and close to being put the first car 1 lap down, running in that 34th position, and not very far in front of him is Jay Morris in that 27 machine. Oh, big moment there for Richter off of 4. Richter sideways. That could have been bad. That could have been pretty ugly. Richter able to keep the car underneath him, able to keep it heading in the right direction. And there you can see more drivers beginning to flee the top and drop to the bottom. And in line, looks like the majority of the field is just ready to put in some laps here. Still very long way to go, but we are knocking on the door of the halfway point here tonight. Lap number 32. Out of the 80 scheduled in tonight's official race distance. Keep in mind, no stage breaks, no fast repairs here for the Wheels for Warriors USA Pro Cup Series. And a run coming back, the lap car creating a little bit of a situation, and now the run on the outside coming back. Jerry Isaacs is bringing his Toyota Camry to the front of the field. That Camry has no Toyota has been at the front of the field so far. It has been an all Chevy show at the front of this field. And can Chevy continue to dominate the manufacturing points here from Daytona International Speedway? We'll have to wait and see how it all goes. Big mix through the field, but Toyotas are behind the 8 ball as far as it's concerned with manufacturing teammates. They are the lesser of the 3 manufacturers here tonight. Ooh, driver super loose again, coming off of 4. Jay Morris gonna bring his 27 machine to pit road very slow. Looks like he very well may be out of power. And as we roll closer to the halfway point here tonight, race fans, if you haven't already, go ahead and throw these drivers a thumbs up, click subscribe, and smash the bell over there on the right-hand side. Get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, whether it's myself, Darkside Dave in the cave, or anybody else back at the Turn 3 headquarters. We do appreciate each and every one of you each and every time you stop by. Whether you're just sliding through for just a brief moment or you are the dedicated fan, friend, or family, we do appreciate each and every one of you, because without you, there would be no us. I do want to mention another thing here tonight, as we've got a battle for the race lead. Once again, that outside lane finally surging forward. The 51 with control right now. Isaac's trying to make headway on that outside lane and now slowly falling to the wayside once again, but can he somehow get by the 32 Game Fuel Chevy ZL1 Camaro piloted by Chris Wold? Big push by Finmore on the back of that 32. That's going to keep them just out in front of the charge on the outside lane there. You can see that big push created a big run through the center of 3 and 4. That's going to carry on around and down this front stretch. Do want to give a big shout out to Wheels for Warriors USA, coming on board this year with Cyber Thunder Racing Leads becoming the title sponsor, the premier sponsor right here for the Cyber Thunder Racing League. And if you haven't already, head on over to Wheels for Warriors USA. You can find them at www.w4wusa.org. Great organization doing some great things for our veterans, helping vets 2 wheels at a time. A lot of great guys over there doing a lot of great things. And if you're wanting to help, if you're looking for a way, what they're looking for, a little bit of a list there. Any type of motorcycle apparel that isn't, if you wouldn't wear it, obviously they probably don't want it, but they would more than likely still take it. Any donations, still accept it. Sponsors both corporate and individual. If there is a certain veteran that you know that you think can benefit from this organization coming by, helping them, talking to them, giving them the support they need, not just on the 2 wheels and on the motorcycles and with that training, but just the brotherhood. If you're a veteran, you know how hard it is for a lot of your fellow countrymen out there. Over an estimated 22 veterans take their own lives every single day. So being cognitive and aware of the situation and reaching out to help your fellow man that has helped you out, even if you've never met them, very great cause by all of these gentlemen and women over there at the Wheels for Warriors USA organization. And as I've already said in this broadcast, if there's a cooler way to support our vets and get them the help they need and give them the freedom of a ride that you get, the therapeutic nature that riding motorcycles has, if you can tell me a cooler way, then I'll agree, but I highly doubt it. One of the coolest things I've heard of and one of the coolest ways to help one of our veterans. So go on over there to www.w4wusa.org. The 19 of Jeff Sharp jumping to the high side. He'll take control of the outside lane, but that outside lane has fallen back quite a bit as drivers right here on the cusp of the halfway point now jumping to that outside. I believe, can't see the number on that machine, but I believe that is the 39. There you can see, yes, it is indeed the 39 of Bruce Berry jumping from the bottom up to the top. He's going to try to take the run, take it to the high side. Oh, contact! The 28 of Bill Jett makes contact. 3 wide now behind. Oh, my goodness, 3 wide. More contact. The 19 goes to the bottom of the speedway. Edwards involved. He's on the apron trying to bring it back on track. The 19 across the grass. Oh, my goodness. That could have been extremely huge. multiple different times. That was a disaster avoided. That was one. Man, wow. That was amazing. That was a very close moment once again for a lot of drivers, falling way back through the field after that one, able to finally corral the car. The 19 of Jeff Sharp sitting back in the 24th position now, but in caution flag fly. Paul Turner, I believe, may have been involved in this one. We'll take a look back here. There you see that Ford very slow. The Ford Mustang of the Ford having some troubles here. So let's take a look back, see how it all went down. Oh, on the apron and up back on the track. The 37, nowhere to go. David Rogerson caught up in this one, and that's a tough pill to swallow. Nothing Rogerson could have done right there. Oh, my goodness. The 77 jumped to the high side. Dave Sanders jumped out from harm's way, and that left that 37 nowhere to go. My goodness. That could have been rough for a lot of drivers, but that one right there could have almost been avoided. Just nowhere to go. No more track for the 37 to utilize and use up as the Ford Mustang brings himself down pit road. Tough break right there. Just past the halfway point, we are under caution for just the second time here tonight in the Daytona 80, brought to you by Wheels for Warriors USA Pro Cup Series in the Cyber Thunder Racing League here on iRacing.com, the world's #1 racing simulator. And as we find ourselves under caution, we are going to take a brief commercial break, but we're not going to go anywhere. We're going to jump to our side-by-side so we can keep the action on screen for you here. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
iRacing, you wanted the best. You got them 4 abreast. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
Growing up as a kid in Oklahoma, where I'm from, the Chili Bowl is the biggest race that we have. The Chili Bowl has kind of been my favorite race of the year. Growing up a dirt racer in Oklahoma, that's kind of the holy grail.
Back trackside as the Ford Mustang pace car lights are off. We're ready to fire things off for the third time here tonight. After our second caution only involving 2 drivers, We did have a little bit of a skirmish and a mix-up just before that. That could have caught up a lot of drivers. Fortunately enough, it did not. Unfortunately enough for that 19 that was involved big time in that. He was able to recover after this. Caution here has closed the pack back up with each other. But let's talk about the man at the front of this field, leading the race to the restart. Once again with that top spot, the 32 of Chris Wold waiting to fire things off once again. Field ready up through the gears, and green flag flies once again here at Daytona International Speedway in the Wheels for Warriors USA Pro Cup Series. Finmore fires out of a cannon on that outside lane. What a run up through the gears for that one machine, but Wold gonna fight back on the inside, try to keep that top spot, but on the high side, already hooked up, already nose to tail. Once again, we have seen this familiar pair, and back to the front once again, and down on the bottom of the speedway. The Finmore and Gross back in the 1 and 2 positions on the track there. You can see the 51 to the high side trying to lead that outside lane back to the front of the field once again, but it looks like more drivers are more concerned with trying to find a way to the bottom of the track. Still quite a handful of laps to go, just past the halfway point here tonight. We've got right at about, I believe, 36 laps remaining in the Wheels for Warriors USA Pro Cup Series right here live from Daytona International Speedway. Thank you all for joining us once again here tonight. Darkside Dave with all the calls, and there have been a lot of great calls, a lot of great racing action, and you can just look forward to some more great racing action all season long here in the Wheels for Warriors Pro Cup Series. Next week, drivers heading cross-country almost entirely. Well, not almost entirely. It pretty much is entirely. Going from Daytona, USA, Florida, to all the way to the other side of the country, all the way over to California for the race at Auto Club. That will be race number 2. Race number 3 on the board will be back over here once again at Homestead, so drivers may have a little bit of jet lag after the first few handful of races here in the Wheels for Warriors USA Pro Cup Series. Drivers still side by side for the race lead. Jerry Isaacs, he has wanted that outside lane to work. He has wanted to get up there and battle for that race lead, and now he is doing so. Looking to drop down, not clear just yet. He'll have to stay to the high side with Bill Jett tucked in just behind him. Justin Gross still right there. Second car inside lane. The 99 was your pole sitter, did lead about the first 18 laps or so, but since has not been able to go back up there and gather that race lead. A lot of drivers still out there on the track tonight. We took 36 drivers to the starting grid here tonight, and we have still got 33 out there running on the track with just 30 drivers remaining on the lead lap. Jay Morris listed as the first car off of the lead lap, just behind the 8 ball a little bit, and there you can see a few drivers already off of the pace here. I believe that may be the 9 of Brian Dorsey back there, losing a ton of ground, losing a ton of time. Running right now, I believe that is the 24 of Zach Shahalis. Shahalis well off of the lead lap, well behind. But right here, good solid pushing and running partner. Dorsey looking to safeguard himself just a little bit back behind the pack. And with all that being said and shown, let's jump back to the front as the 51 looks to the high side. Once again, that Toyota Camry just not quite able to get around the line of Chevys down there on the inside. 3 Chevys lined up all together, and I believe it is even more than that. Look at that Chevy train at the bottom. Your first 5, 6 drivers down there on the inside lane are all Chevy manufacturer drivers, and they are all sticking together. Out there on that outside lane, though, the Toyota as well as the Fords trying to team up with each other, trying to make their way around that inside lane, still not able to do so. Side by side once again down the backstretch into turn number 3 on lap 49 out of the 80 scheduled here tonight. And Finmore still controls the race, still has control of everything down there on that inside lane. And I tell you what, why don't we jump back here with one of our onboard cameras? I do believe we have a gyro camera set up inside that 55 Ford Mustang piloted by Eddie B. Hander. You can see him right now, third driver in that outside lane. You can see just how much these cars do move around, just how much they do wiggle. These cars are not glued to the track as heavily as you would think. Still kind of an easy drive, but the cars do move around quite a bit, and there you can hear the tires squealing through the corner, getting a little bit loose there for Behan. Do want to give a big shout out to that 55 crew, allowing us to go in there and put that turn 3 gyro cam inside of that 55 machine. So thank you, tip of the cap right there too. Now, oh my goodness, looking 3 wide. Nope, they're going to back out of that one. Not willing to go 3 wide just yet, as we are just at the 30 laps remaining mark here tonight from Daytona International Speedway for the Daytona 80. That's right, the season opener for the Wheels for Warriors USA Pro Cup Series. And I do want to give again a big time shout out to Wheels for Warriors as the 51 drops to the bottom. New race leader, our 4th race leader of the night. Jerry Isaacs takes that 51 to the bottom. He's going to leave the high side high and dry the 28 that got him to that top spot. Probably thinking inside that car, hey man, you're supposed to wait for me. Not waiting around, not playing around. The 51 of Jerry Isaacs, he takes control over the race lead, and now the front 3 have cleared the outside lane, but not going away. Bill Jett in the 28 up 26 spots from where he started tonight's race. The 28 started all the way back, not just outside your top 5, your top 10, all the way outside of your top 20, all the way outside of your top 25, back in the 30th position, and now running right here, right at the front inside the top 5 in the 4th position. Bill Jett continues to lead that outside lane. Do want to take a brief moment to recognize a few of the... Oh, and caution! Caution on the speedway. I believe we do have a caution. No, we stay green flag. Drivers everywhere back through the track. There you can see that contact. Cole Gray involved. More drivers involved. Tom Richter. Looks like a lot of drivers getting on the brakes. No caution coming out. Richter hitting him one more time. Oh, my goodness. And caution flag indeed now finally being displayed. That was rough for a lot of drivers. Mark Schrader involved in this one. We'll take a look back here. Schrader, one of the last drivers in line here, trying to make his way by slowly. Looks like, oh, there he goes around. Right there, the 21 on the brakes and around down the speedway. And, oh, no front clip on that 34. And, oh, my goodness, out of nowhere. There you seen it right at the end of that wreck. Oh, my goodness, Evan Coleman involved in the 99. The 77 involved again. Tom Richter hard into the outside wall. The 92 spins around right in front of Richter, and Richter nails him once again, ripping the front clip off of that one. Oh, my goodness. Zach Shahalis, man, coming in hot late. Tears off the front end of that machine, and that is going to be the big one here tonight from Daytona International Speedway. Our 3rd caution of the evening now tonight brings us to a crawl back behind the Ford Mustang pace car once again. Drivers last on the pit road on lap 41, just about 10 laps ago. Looks like a few drivers gonna head down pit road, but the majority looks like they may be staying out here, maybe trying to just extend this run, come down pit road one more time. But if they've got to make a green flag pit stop, it's gonna put them well behind the field. Drivers that pitted right here under this caution going to be very close on the fuel mileage. But let's be honest here. It's Daytona, and what are the odds of staying clean and green to the end? Not because it's these drivers or anybody in the field. Look at the Cup drivers, and they have a hard enough time doing it themselves. The real-life NASCAR stars have trouble keeping it clean and green for that long of a time as well. So big tip of the cap to all these drivers being able to keep this thing green flag as long as we have. Multiple longer green flag runs here tonight just on the outside edge of those fuel windows. But now that fuel window has opened up and has pretty much shut. Drivers that come down pit road right now, they'll be able to make it to the end on the fuel, and they will have just enough, I think, for that first and only green-white checkered. We'll have to wait and see if we're going to get down and need one of those, or if we keep this thing green to the end. It will be pretty exciting finish, as drivers going to have to really mix it up and separate themselves here in these last 25 laps if they're going to want to set themselves up with a smooth run to the checkered flag. And as we do find ourselves slow around the track behind the Ford Mustang pace car, do want to give a big shout out to a few of the individuals involved with Wheels for Warriors USA back there in Lincoln, Nebraska. A big shout out to Craig Topin as well as Candy Turner. Natalie, I'm sorry, I'm not going to butcher that last name. As well as Jesse Cunningham, Dana Turner also helping out over there as technical advisor. If you're looking for a way to help these guys out, help the organization out, you can always head over to the website www.w4wusa.org. Wheels for Warriors USA, helping vets 2 wheels at a time. And again, I'll say it multiple times throughout the season as well, race fans. If you're not a rider, you just may not understand the value, the true therapeutic, I don't necessarily want to say soul cleansing or soul searching, but there's a void, there's a special feeling that you have when you get on your bikes, when you have some things on your mind and you're able to jump on those 2 wheels. You're kind of able to just kind of let go of everything and just enjoy that ride, and doing a heck of a job being able to bring that experience to multiple veterans over the course of the years. Big time shout out to Wheels for Warriors USA and everything they're doing to help our vets. And I promise you, I'm going to reach out to you here soon and see what we can't get done, see if we can't get something worked out with the Turn 3 Racing Network. Put pace car down and away. Field in the hands of Isaacs on the gas. Green flag flies with 25 laps remaining here in the Daytona 80 in the season opener for the Wheels for Warriors USA Pro Cup Series. And I tell you what, race fans, this is a perfect opportunity to throw it back down trackside. So we're going to mute the mics for just a brief moment, get a little closer to the action with a little bit of Turn It Up. Oh, and caution on the speedway, caution on the track. Looks like this very well may be the biggest one of the evening. Multiple drivers caught up in this one. Looks like we have quite a bit to get through right there. Oh, a lot of drivers. Bob Rogerson involved, Eric Anderson, Dave Sanders, Frank DiMaggio, Eddie Behan, as well as Mark Schrader, Dave Gainforth, Brett Edwards, Brian Dorsey involved as well. We'll take a look back here with the Turn 3 replay and see what happened, see how it all went down. Oh, and there you can see the 78 getting a little bit out of shape, and that's going to stack him up and pack him up. Eddie Behan slowly made his way through there. Oh, the 66 gets caught up. The 43 down through the grass. He's involved as well. One more look at this one as it all went down. Oh, and there you can see hard impact. I believe that was the 7 going hard into that outside wall. The 73 maybe. Oh, man. A lot of drivers caught up in this one. Very quick caution after our third caution of the evening. That puts us back under caution for the 4th time here tonight from Daytona International Speedway. And race fans, you know what they say. Cautions breed cautions, and when you have super speedway racing, when you go to these restrictor plate tracks, you can always expect some fireworks when it comes to stage ends as well as towards the end of the race. Drivers have been keeping their cool, keeping it calm and civilized out there for upwards of 60 laps. Out of the 80 scheduled in tonight's official race distance in the Daytona 80, here in the Wheels for Warriors USA Pro Cup Series season opener for the Cyber Thunder Racing League right here on iRacing.com, the world's #1 racing simulator. And Jerry Isaacs has done a fine job snatching that race lead and not giving it up since. And talk about a fine job. Bill Jett, driver sitting right there in that chromed out white and purple silver 28 machine. Man, what a run he has had. Started way back in the 30th position, now running right behind your race leader in that second spot. And I tell you what, why don't we go through and do a little bit of driver spotlights here under caution. I know that's a little bit different from what we're accustomed to with the driver spotlights, but hey, what do you say we run it down right here? There you can see Jerry Isaacs in that 51 machine out of St. Louis, Missouri. And Jerry with a little bit of humor right there. I do like the little cartoon. You get the little pun going on with that one. And if you're seeing this, I must have crashed. I must have caused a wreck. Sorry. And no, Jerry, you're on screen this time for something great, man. Leading tonight's Daytona 80. So a big kidder, big joker, big shout out to your race leader right now inside that Toyota Camry, driver of the 51 machine, Jerry Isaacs. Going to run through a few of the drivers right here at the front. Bill Jett out of New Milford, Connecticut. Doing a fine job so far here tonight. As I've already said, started way back in the 30th position, now running right there in second. Going to start on the outside lane, I do believe, and have a shot to take over the race lead, become our 5th different leader of tonight's race. Your pole sitter for tonight, the 99 of Justin Gross. There you can see him right there, second car inside lane. He'll line up third for this latest restart. Chris Wold in that 32 machine. The Cyber Thunder Racing Division Director, Chris Wold, from Tucson, Arizona, running strong here tonight out there in that 4th spot. A few more drivers inside the top 10. There you can see Tyler Beeman from Mad Sim Racing slotted in that 5th spot. Coolidge Finmore right there, and he likes to go fast, and that's where he's been going, and he hasn't even been born yet. Look at that. Heck of a job for a non-been born. Finmore doing a fine job out there tonight. Frank DiMaggio in the 95 has had a great race so far here. Driver from Windsor, Ontario. Up inside your top 10, there you can see John Dykeman right there from Boone, North Carolina. Appalachian State. Yeah, buddy. Big time shout out to everybody up there at Appalachian State up there in Boone, North Carolina. Glad you could all join us here tonight. Dalton Corner in the 9th spot from Hillsboro, Oregon. And the Shavota Motorsports team doing a fine job representing his team. Jeff Sharp in that 19 will round out your top 10 as the field makes their way off of turn 4. We'll set to go back. Green flag racing once again. Your race leader bringing the field to the line. Ford Mustang pace car gonna duck on off, and green flag flies as Isaacs hits the loud pedal, but Bill Jett right there with him. Drag race towards turn 1. Whose help's gonna get there first? The 99 was right there on the rear end of that 51, but here comes the 32 of Wold. Wold has had the race lead, and he is looking for it once again. Out of your top 5, 4 of those drivers have had the race lead. Bill Jett looking to squeeze down to the bottom. My goodness, that was a squeeze play to get to the bottom. Now jumping to the high side goes the 99, your pole sitter. He wants that race lead back. Chris Wold lined up just behind him, the one of Finmore. Third in line, and look at those 3 cars battling with that entire line on the inside. They have got a big gap back, but look at the push from Wold. That's going to almost clear Gross on the outside. Oh, Gross so close to being clear right there. But that inside lane shot forward just at the right time. There you can see that momentum building now as it's a 3-on-3 battle for the top spots. As Tyler Beeman, Frank DiMaggio, those drivers are a little bit off of the pace right now. Beeman, DiMaggio, Frank Sharp, all lined up down there on that inside lane, content to kind of let these 6 drivers fight it out amongst themselves. We have had 2 pretty decently sized incidents here. Our last 2 cautions on the speedway, so drivers may be a little bit wary about mixing it up just a little bit. Now that one of Finmore gonna bail and jump back to the bottom of the speedway. That's going to leave 2 drivers out there on that outside lane. It looks like DiMaggio with a little bit of blink action there, and now back to the bottom of the speedway. Looks like nose-to-tail action as the 99 leaves. Chris Wold to the Wolves. Back there on the high side, they're going to get freight train. 3 cars are lined up, but they have dropped to the tail end of this lead pack. Now just 2 drivers out there on the outside trying to make it work. That is Mike Grandy Sr. pushing on the back end of that 32 of Chris Wold. And now the 92 going to drop to the bottom. No position open for the 32 to drop to the bottom. He'll squeeze right down in front of Grandy. Now jumping back to the outside. And we haven't really spoke about this driver all night long. Driver inside of that 14 machine. You've seen his black and yellow car jump real fast to that outside lane. Chris Wold jumped right out in front of him. First time we've talked about Bell, and for the first time tonight, he is inside the top 10, running in the 8th position. 3 drivers now lined up on that outside. Frank DiMaggio, Chris Wold, and Craig Bell. They're looking for the front of the field. Big push to the front as more drivers join the calls on that outside lane. We're going to have a battle for the top spot here in the next lap or 2. I can guarantee you that run is coming, and it is coming fast. We may very well have that battle by the time we get back to turn number 1. Big push from Chris Wold on the back of DiMaggio, and DiMaggio continuing to gain on that outside line. Whoa, big move up the track for the 99. Grows with a big jump to the outside just in front of Finmore. And a good solid run right there, running in the 5th spot right now. John Dykeman running in the 5th spot, man. He has been very quiet as well. One of the drivers just slowly and methodically making his way up through the field. And as the field makes their way off of turn number 4 and back through the tri-oval here on lap number 13, we will begin the final countdown on tonight's race. Just 12 laps remaining for these drivers in the lead pack that's sorted on out. We're going to jump back here to this little pack in this battle. It is quite a few drivers packed up as well. Patrick Stein leading the inside lane. 89 drops down to the bottom. He's got the 52 of Edwards. Dean lined up just behind him. Dave Sanders, Jay Morris, Dalton Carter, and Robert Gregory right there in this small group. Back to your top 20 right there, up 16 spots, so a big-time move there for the 82 of Robert Gregory as well. So a lot of drivers making a lot of gains here. And there's still a very long way to go in the season, race fans. Just, looks like the 41 may have gotten out of shape down there on the tri-oval. We'll jump back here with this battle at the front of the field. The 41 looked to be a little bit out of shape and looked to be down there on the apron, but look at that run on the high side. Frank DiMaggio clear, but not able to jump down in time. Now that inside lane regains that momentum. Drag race down the backstretch once again. Drivers making their way through turns 3 and 4. We will click down to just 10 laps remaining here tonight from Daytona International Speedway for the Wheels for Warriors USA Pro Cup Series for the Cyber Thunder Racing League on iRacing.com, the world's #1 racing simulator. If you want to drive it without having to pay for it if you wreck it, head on over to iRacing.com. Isaac's able to keep that inside lane wound up, able to keep the momentum going with the help from the 28 of Bill Jett, and Jett has got help from John Dykeman right there running 4th car now. Was 3rd car, but now 4th car in line as Frank DiMaggio finally just clears the inside lane. He's going to drop to the bottom, looks to go back to the top to try to regain the momentum of that outside lane, but not going to be able to do it just quick enough. The 32 of Chris Wold looking for the front. And as we're waiting to find out the information on the race win here tonight, if you're looking for some information on how you can try to help out the Wheels for Warriors USA organization, you can email them at info@w4wusa.org. They can answer any and all questions that you have. And yes, indeed, they are a tax-exempt nonprofit charity under Section 504 and a lot of other little alphabets behind that. But a tax-deductible organization. If you do donate, you are able to put that on your taxes. I know that affects a lot of people, so you know, there's that information as well. As we said earlier in the broadcast, they do accept other things as well. If you've got a reconditioned motorcycle or a motorcycle that is able to be reconditioned and used. Oh my goodness, Fenmore sideways, the 51 sideways into the 12, back up the track. Caution flag gonna fly, hard impact for Jerry Isaacs. Isaacs' night has come to an end. More drivers wrecking. More drivers going around off of turn number 3. We stay green, everybody wrecking off of the track. Oh my goodness, 7 laps to go, and the field is all torn apart now. Drivers all torn up. Your top 5 have stepped away. Look at this right here, and it's almost just a 4-car breakaway. Jeff Sharp trying hard to maintain the draft, trying hard to keep the air on the front end of that Chevy Z01 Camaro, and just like that, it is a Chevy-dominated front of the field. Frank DiMaggio leads Chris Wold, Bill Jett, and Crank Bell, with Jeff Sharp right behind them after that calamity and chaos Mike Grandy Sr. sitting about 6 seconds behind your race leader, running in the 6th spot. Justin Gross back there as well in the 7th spot. John Dykeman still running on the speedway, 8th on track. 9th goes to Coolidge, Finmore, and Patrick Stein rounds out your top 10. Nose the tail for the first 5 spots on the track. This is going to give us one hot and heavy battle to the end of tonight's Daytona 80 here for the Wheels for Warriors USA Pro Cup Series in the high five from the flagman. 5 to go here from Daytona International Speedway in the opening round for the Wheels for Warriors USA Pro Cup Series. Man, I tell you what, I've said it multiple times, and I'm going to say it multiple times over the course of the season. You might as well go ahead and write it down. Go ahead and head on over there and check these guys out. Wheels for Warriors, helping vets 2 wheels at a time. Great organization, great group over there getting things done. And as we were saying, you know, if you want to help out and donate, you got some questions, want them answered, need to know how and what you can do, you can send them an email. Contact them over there at info@w4wusa.org. Still nose the tail. These drivers not willing to jump out just yet. Don't want to get left behind and out of line. With just 4 laps remaining, somebody's going to have to do something, or Frank DiMaggio is going to walk away with the race win pretty handily, pretty easily. Still nose the tail, though, these drivers out there. Now Bill Jett looks to the high side all alone, all by himself. He's going to pull even with the 32 of Wold, but don't look for that 28 to go very far when he is all by himself. 4 drivers lined up on the inside. Now looks like Jett going to slot back down to the bottom, and here we go. Big time traffic in front of your race leaders. Multiple small packs of drivers that will be scored off of the lead lap. There you can see your race leaders going by. 2 packed up cars right there. That is Eric Anderson and Bryson Clark. Those 2 drivers going to fall off of the lead lap. Drivers just in front of them in danger of going down off of the lead lap. Brett Edwards, Bradley Beeman, Bruce Perry, as well as Tom Richter and Bob Rogerson, all right there in close danger of falling off the lead lap. Oh, and caution! Caution flag flies. Caution on the speedway with 3 to go. That's gonna put us in a green-white checkered scenario. Caution coming out on the raceway for the 82 of Robert Gregory. We'll look back, see what happened. Looks like the 21 was also involved in this one. Oh, and Schrader off of the outside wall, down back into that inside lane. Oh, and the 82, no fault of his own, just hard into that outside wall after the contact. I believe that is the 42 that was involved as well. Oh, tough break for both of those drivers. My goodness, when will the carnage in the 21? Also spinning down there, Mark Schrader involved. Tough break late in the going here for all of those drivers, but that's going to allow multiple drivers to catch back up to your race leader. When we had that multiple chaos, no caution a handful of laps ago, some of the drivers that were not involved checked up hard enough to miss everything and were well behind your race leaders. Now looks like they're going to be able to close the gap, close the distance. And let's see if anybody's brave enough to come down pit road here with just a green-white checkered left to decide things here tonight. A few drivers willing to come down pit road. Chris Dean, Kyle Jett, Dave Gainforth, and Dave Sanders all bring their machines down to pit road for final service in fuel. As the field finds themselves under caution for the 5th time here tonight. We're going to break away for just a small commercial break, so don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back.
I race Racing, you wanted the best, you got them four abreast.
Growing up as a kid in Oklahoma, where I'm from, the Chili Bowl is the biggest race that we have.
The World of Outlaws.
To the front bumper, and he hits him again now. Ray Alfala into the outside wall.
Gonna pass nearly 3 cars down that front straightaway, and he's gonna get them all done with. What amazing!
Lee to the inside goes Logan Cloudman is gonna touch in. Pit press sideways. What a save!
Look to the outside as Trunkett goes off. De Jong into second place.
Going for the switchback. Oh, pinpoint driving.
It's Howley down to the inside.
Trying this contact though.
Slide left of the racetrack. Chris Renner drives it back down underneath, and he takes that second spot right back. Joker goes to Garrett Lowe.
Garrett Lowe should take victory with all that contact.
He's going to try and make the move around the outside the parabolica. That's not going to work, but he's going to try and get the cut back here. Get the run out the parabolica. That's beautifully done there. Makashube, there's a little bit of door banging as well.
Backtrack side for your run to the end. The final few laps in tonight's Daytona 80, and we see overtime in the season opener for the Wheels for Warriors USA Pro Cup Series. Your one and only attempt at a green-white checkered next flag will end the race, whether it's the caution flag or it's the checkered flag. Either way, we will decide a race winner here in the next coming laps. Ford Mustang pace car ready to tuck off for the final time here tonight. Frank DiMaggio leads Chris Wold, Bill Jett, and Jeff Sharp back to the restart line, waiting for it. Green flag flies once again as on the gas, the front of the field goes up through the gears. Everybody away clean so far. Backed up side by side, double filed to turn one. Double file into turn one. That doesn't last very long at the front as DiMaggio and Jett have stepped away and cleared that outside lane. Will Bill Jett look to the outside? Looked like the 14 wanted to go. He's not going to have room. He'll be stuck down on that inside lane, now making his way back to the front. Once again, Chris Wold looking for a way to get that outside lane up there to the front. Jett clears on the bottom once again. Will he jump out? 14 looks like he wants to go. Jett thought about it for just a moment. White flag this time by. White flag in the air. Final lap here from Daytona International Speedway. Looks like a little bit of blinking going on for DiMaggio. That may disrupt the push. 3 wide as Jett goes to the middle. Wold goes to the top. Wold into the outside wall. Jett drops down to the bottom, nose to tail for your top 6 spots. Drivers jump back to the outside. That's Coolidge. Finmore looking for the top spot again. He's got a familiar pusher right behind him. There you can see that 99. Your pole sitter Justin Gross looking to try to get back to the front. 5-car breakaway off of 4. 5-car breakaway off of turn 4. 2 wide once again. DiMaggio gonna bring it home. Frank DiMaggio in the 95. Gonna bring it home as your race leader, your first race winner here in the Wheels for Warriors USA Pro Cup Series. My goodness, what a finish for DiMaggio, capturing the flag, walking away with the race win, becoming the first winner in the Wheels for Warriors USA Pro Cup Series. My goodness, what a race fans. What a finish. Whew. And as Frank DiMaggio brings it back around, he will more than likely enjoy a lengthy celebration back at the stripe. My goodness, what a great job by that 95 of DiMaggio. And with that being said, race fans, we're going to step away for a brief commercial break. Get things set up to go for your post-race interview, so don't go anywhere. We will be right back. Gonna let you enjoy some of the smoke show, and there you have it. Enjoying the burn down, enjoying ripping the rubber off of that 95. DiMaggio walks away from the race as your race winner. With that being said, we're going to step away, get things set up for your post-race interviews. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And back trackside at the completion of tonight's Daytona 80 for the Wheels for Warriors USA Pro Cup Series. What a night it was for the season opener here for the Wheels for Warriors USA Pro Cup Series. And let's see if we can't catch a few words with some of the drivers that finished in the podium spots here tonight. Let's see if we can't get in a quick word with the driver that walked away in the third and final podium spot here tonight. Coolidge Fenmore, it's Dave in the booth. You got a copy?
I got you.
How bad did I butcher the name, bud?
It was good. It wasn't too bad.
It wasn't.
Some people do worse.
All right, not too bad. I think I'll take that. A heck of a job out there tonight, man. Walking away with the third place in the season opener. You are a newcomer to the league, so how did it feel out there mixing it up with these drivers for the first time on track?
Man, you know, they're all a bunch of great racers. It's a different level running these guys compared to carburetor cup races that a lot of people can't hold their line. So it was great. I really appreciate them for allowing me to come out and run these. I ran a few last season ones, a couple of their Thunder series and a couple other ones. So it was nice to be out here.
Well, my man, talk us through what maybe you're looking to do here in the season. Are you looking to just have a good solid first year, or are you looking to maybe get up there and mix it up and try to walk away as the champion in your first year?
I think the first year is more development of my driving style. I know some tracks I'm good, some tracks I'm not. So it's trying to get all the pieces put together so that I can make a run at a championship. That's the overall goal at the end, is to run with the top guys and try and be at the front the whole time. But I guess the first couple of races, I'm just going to try and get a feel for everyone and make sure I'm doing a good job behind the wheel, not to cause any issues.
Well, Coolidge, you had a fine first run here tonight. Before we let you go and enjoy the podium finish here tonight, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody on the side of that EA number 1?
I'd like to thank the Wheels for Warriors for putting this on. I'd like to thank Turn 3 Broadcast Network. And I'd like to thank my team, the Underdog Racing team, for allowing me to come out here and shake it up with the top boys.
All right, my man. Well, if that's all, then we'll go ahead and look forward to catching up with you next week all the way across the country over there at Auto Club Speedway, all the way in California. So go ahead and get you some rest before you jump on the bus and have to head cross country.
Appreciate that. Thanks for everything.
All right, there you have it. Final few words from the driver walking away in the third spot here tonight. That was the driver inside of that EA number 1, Coolidge Fenmore. On to the driver that finished in the second spot. There you can see him parked on the track just in front of that one machine, and that is none other than the driver inside of that 14 machine. Let's see if we can't catch in a few words with a familiar face, familiar man here with us in the post-race interviews. Crank Bells, Dave in the booth, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, Dave. How you doing tonight?
Dude, I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Feeling pretty good after a second place finish.
That's one heck of a way to start off the season. Pretty quiet night for you and that 14 crew. You didn't make a lot of noise, just slowly and methodically kind of picked your way up through the field. Talk us through a little bit of the strategy. Was that the strategy, just to be like kind of quiet and ninja-like?
No, not at all. That what was really going on probably didn't show across the broadcast. So that first run, I was running right around the top 10 probably, and there was nowhere to go. You know, we're just running in line side by side. And then it seemed like every caution that came out, I avoided the major wreck, but I got into the wall just enough to get about 30 seconds of damage to repair each time, pulled in the pits, go to the back, get in the next one, scrape the wall, 30 seconds, back and back and back and back. And I mean, honestly, at the end of the race, my car was so damaged I told Frank, he's my teammate. I was like, look, dude, if you pull out in front of me and leave me hanging here, I'm dead in the water. I can't lead a line, but I can push you. So that's what we did. I pushed him all the way to the lead there and all the way to the win.
Well, Crank, as I said coming into the interview, very familiar to the post race interviews. Do you look to continue that trend from last season over into this season? We do have a couple new teams out there, a couple new drivers in the field. What's your thoughts on this season for the Wheels for Warriors USA Pro Cup Series?
I think we're going to see a super exciting season this season. I think the competition across the board, the talent level is really even. So we're not going to see anybody really dominate. There may be 5 or 6 guys out there competing near the front every week, but you never know who's going to be out front and actually get the win at the end. I mean, it's going to come down to who puts the practice in and who's good at which types of tracks. These super speedways are kind of an equalizer, so if you can avoid the big accidents and be there at the end, you've got a chance. Uh, so I'm really looking forward to it. And I can't say enough for bringing Wheels for Warriors USA on board for the Pro Cup Series here at Cyber Thunder Racing League. We're so glad to bring them on and get them some publicity and get them a new audience here in the iRacing world and the people that watch your broadcast there on Turn 3. They are a phenomenal organization that do some great things for our veterans and like I said, couldn't be prouder to be here and carrying their colors on our windshield banners.
Absolutely. I would have to agree with that one 100%. So, Crank, with all that being said, congratulations once again on a solid start to this season, finishing in the second place here tonight in the Daytona 80. Before we let you go and run off in the sunset, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody else on that 14 car?
Yeah, absolutely. So the opportunity to bring Wheels for Warriors USA forward for the broadcast and for the title sponsor for the series was brought on by a bunch of individuals since they are a charitable organization. So I want to thank Chad Callahan and his AMSOIL company, the Special Operations Warrior Foundation, Colonial Riders, Scoots Customs, T-Rex Express, RST Timberworks, and Pedro's Garage for fronting the expense to bring Wheels for Warriors USA on board with us. Thank you as always, Dave, and Turn 3 broadcast crew. Tom for putting on the league, all my teammates at Longshot Motorsports, and my family, my wife Jolene and the kiddos for letting me put in the time to practice and have the opportunity to be on the podium and get in the broadcast with you.
Well, once again, Crank Man, congratulations on the great second place here tonight. And we look forward to catching up with you for sure throughout this season.
All right. Thanks, Dave. We'll talk to you soon.
There you have it. Final few words from Johnson City, Tennessee's very own Crank Bell, walking away today in the second spot tonight. And my goodness, what a race it was tonight, race fans. And that's going to lead us to the man that walked away with the race win, the very first race winner for the Wheels for Warriors USA Pro Cup Series, Frank DiMaggio. You kicked down the doors to victory lane. How you feeling after walking away with the checkered flag?
Man, I'm still trying to catch my breath. I mean, just coming up through the field, your heart just starts racing, adrenaline kicks in. Oh, that was a crazy one. I'm still trying to recoup from that.
Yeah, a little bit of a crazy little run there towards the end of the race as well. And do want to mention this, you made up 16 spots from where you started tonight's race. You kind of just methodically did it, and there in the last 20 laps or so, you were right there at the front of the field. Was that the strategy for you and that 95 crew to just kind of hang out for a minute and then strike when the time was right?
We're just trying to make it to the last 10, 15 laps. We started off in the back and tried to keep a gap to the car in front of me, and I don't know how, but we avoided every single wreck. There was a few times where I'm going to get run over from behind. I'm dead, done. But somehow we avoided them. About 15 to go, we were running 5th or 6th, and I just tried to jump in that high line. And at the end, we had our teammate Jade behind us, and he gave him hell, and because of that, it worked out. It was awesome.
Well, a little bit of luck always goes a long way, especially at the restrictor plate tracks. Now that you've got that race win, are you going to relax at all, or are you going to still turn up the heat over the next couple weeks? We go cross country to Auto Club, then all the way back here over to Florida for Homestead Miami Speedway in the third race of the season. How do you as a driver prepare yourself to go back and forth across the country to very different tracks like that?
Well, I guess since we're in it now, we're just going to go for it. We're just going to try and push. There's no sense of trying to lay back and run for points because we're already in. So we're going to try and get as many trophies as we can. Next week, Auto Club, I really like that track. It's really bumpy. There's a lot of tire fall off. So that'll be something to look forward to. And then coming back to Miami, not my strong suit, but another 1.5 miles to start off the third race of the year. That'll be pretty fun. See if we can come out with the top 5 there.
Absolutely, my man. Well, heck of a job once again tonight walking away with the race win. The first race winner in the Wheels for Warriors USA Pro Cup Series, so congratulations with that. But before we let you go, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody on the side of that 95 you may have forgotten?
Well, you got to thank Wheels for Warriors USA. Without them, this show doesn't really happen. And the Turn 3 Motorsports stream, really appreciate everyone there watching. All the admins that put this thing on, Jade, Tom, Chris, appreciate it. They got a good league here, a lot of good guys, so it's a lot of fun. And then my teammates. I had one right behind me most of the race at the end, and without him, I don't think I get that win. So just appreciate everybody else that was on my team, helped me out this week, and hopefully we can have a good team showing next weekend.
Absolutely, Frank. Well, once again, a heck of a job out there walking away with the race win in the season opener here in the first race with Wheels for Warrior USA Pro Cup Series. And we'll look forward to seeing if we can't get you into victory lane a few more times now that you can kind of just lay it all out there on the line week after week. So we will look forward to catching up with you a little later in the season.
That sounds good to me. Everyone take it easy, be safe.
There you have it. Final few words from the driver walking away with the race win, and you heard it from his very own mouth. He is not going to lay it down, not going to run for points. Why, when you're already locked in the chase? Let's go after each trophy we can get, and walking away with a trophy in the first race of the season, getting the job done here tonight in the Daytona 80 for the Wheels for Warriors Pro Cup Series, backed by Cyber Thunder Racing League. Frank DiMaggio gets the job done. What a race, what a night here tonight, race fans. As always, great racing action each and every time we hit the track with these drivers from this league. Wheels for Warriors USA jumping on board. Great sponsor, doing some great things out there. Big tip of the cap, hats off, and salute to each and every one of you involved in that organization. Great organization, helping veterans at risk, mentoring them a little while, getting them on some motorcycles, helping vets 2 wheels at a time. Wheels for Warriors USA. You can go check them out at www.w4wusa.org. Oh, and it looks like producers going ahead and hitting those buttons. It sounds like they're ready for me to run down tonight's unofficial race results for the first race of the season here in the Wheels for Warriors USA Pro Cup Series, backed by Cyber Thunder Pro Cup. Frank DiMaggio walks away with the trophy, walks away with the first win of the season, making history tonight in the books as a numero uno here tonight at Daytona International Speedway. Crank Bell gonna finish just behind him, rounding out your podium spots here tonight, the one of Coolidge Finmore. Bill Jett gonna come home in the 4th spot. 5th place goes to your pole sitter, the 99 of Justin Groves. The 12 of Mike Grandy gonna finish in the 6th spot. Eddie Behan back in 7th. And Patrick Stein, with a good run here tonight, finishes in 8th. 9th place goes to Jeff Sharp. The fast 32 of Chris Wold rounds out your top 10. 11th place goes to Brian Dorsey, while Brett Edwards slots home in 12th. The 66 of Andy Cork finishes tonight in 13th. 14th place goes to Chris Dean. John Dykeman will round out your top 15 with Robert Gregory finishing back in 16th. Dave Sanders slots his 77 machine home in the 17th spot. And the 34 of Tom Richter gonna finish in 18th tonight. Back in the 19th position, there you can find the 39 of Bruce Perry. Eric Anderson gonna finish in the 20th spot. The 92 of Bradley Beeman walks away from the track here tonight in 21st position. 22nd goes to Kyle Jett. Last driver on the lead lap, the 101 of Dave Gainforth gonna come home in 23rd. 24th position goes to the 78 of Bob Rogerson, while Bryson Clark slots home in the 25th spot. Tyler Beeman goes away from the track in 26th, coming home in 27th. Jerry Isaacs, after leading a ton, late race calamity and chaos, catches Isaacs out, and he's going to bring that 51 home in 27th. 28th goes to the 21 of Mark Schrader. Jay Morris going to finish in 29th, while David Rogerson rounds out your top 30. Dalton Carter in the 53 going to slot home in 31st. Zach Shahalis walks away in 32nd. Cole Gray going to finish tonight in 33rd. 34th goes to Evan Coleman in the 98. Paul Turner in the 4 going to walk away from the track in 35th, and very early trouble here tonight for the 5 of Eric Moyer. He'll finish last car of the field, back in the 36th position. Man, oh man, what a night, race fans. What a race we had here, and get ready for some more great racing action coming up here from the Wheels for Warriors USA Pro Cup Series right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. If you haven't already, throw these drivers a thumbs up, click subscribe, and smash the bell over there on the right-hand side. Get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Whether it's myself, Darkside Dave of the Cave, or anybody else back at the Turn 3 headquarters, we do appreciate each and every one of you each and every time you stop by, whether you're just sliding through for the moment or you are the dedicated fan, friend, or family. We do appreciate you, because without you, there would be none of us. And we do thank you for joining us once again. If you haven't already, throw these drivers a thumbs up. And well, new day, new year, enough said. With that being said, stay safe, stay loved, my friends, and until next time, we'll see you in Turn 3.